Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to sew this stylish two-piece top with front zipper. I'll also put you through how to make this lovely skirt. My inspiration is from the pinned picture and you can see how the inside is looking. I just altered the sleeve and of course made my own skirt to be long, but feel free to take exactly the sleeve you can see on the pinned picture as well as the short skirt. If this sounds like what you've been interested in knowing how I did it, then you have to stick around till the end. If you've not subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe and turn on your post notification, and let's get right into the video. So this was a pattern I drafted in the last tutorial, not the very last, but not so long. I'll put the link in the description box. Okay, you can see how I put the pepper gum on the neckline of the lining and of course hairstay on the body, the Ankara fabric. Now look at how I applied the wording. I avoided the zipper area completely, and I also, you can see how the side of this place is looking. I gave about 2.5 inches from that armhole area so that it does not disturb the armhole at all. I did the same thing for the lining, just as you can see, but the wording on the lining is slightly thicker than the one that I applied on the fabric. So that is the difference. You can see how the cut is, and you can see the neckline. I applied pepper gum on it. I also avoided the zipper allowance on the lining, just as I did on the main fabric. So you can see the Ankara fabric. Now I'll go ahead and start joining it. Now there are notches on the bust point and all of that. I am going to follow all of those notches and start joining all of these together. I will join here and also join the back. Okay, I will join the pieces. Please see the pattern drafting of this tutorial. The link will be in the description box so that you will understand how we arrived at this beautiful pattern. So for my back, I'm going to place it like this and join it, and also join the side panels. Okay, so after joining it, I'm going to iron it down and then show you the next step. Okay, so here I've joined it all together and I've also ironed. Watch closely to see what I have here. I've ironed it and I used hairstay to stick down this princess line. Okay, so I also stitched down the princess line for the lining. After stitching it down, I top stitched. You can see what it looks like. So I'm going to turn up the neckline, stitch the neckline, notch, and then top stitch. So after stitching the neckline, joining the lining and the fabric on the neckline like this, the next thing to do is to go ahead and, cut it open just like this. Just cut it, let it get to the stitch line, but not through it. Please don't cut through the seam line. Okay, after notching, I'm going to push the allowance towards the lining and top stitch. I'll do the same thing for the other side of the front as well. So after top stitching, you go ahead and iron, and this is what we have. Iron it up and this is what you have. So after that, the next thing is to arrange your dress, the main fabric and the lining really nicely, and check if one is longer than the other. So after checking it, do well to trim off 1/2 inch. Let the lining be 1/2 inch less than the fabric on the hemline. So that is the 1/2 inch that I am trimming through because they are equal. So I had to remove 1/2 inch from this hemline so that nothing will make the lining, to come out after joining. So I'm also removing 1/2 inch for this. If you want to get a seamless inside, just as you saw at the beginning of this video, do well to follow exactly what I am doing here. So I'll go ahead now and join the hem, just as you can see me do. I'll stitch here. I'll do the same thing for this side. I'll place it accordingly and stitch. So after stitching, I'm going to notch and then top stitch. So you can see what I have here. I'm going to just go ahead and notch, just as you can see. Even here, I'll go ahead and notch it and then top stitch. So after notching and top stitching, this is what I have, and I had to go ahead and iron as well. So this is what we have at this stage, and this is the best time to put our zipper on the center front. Watch closely because there's something special about the zipper fixing. So just watch and learn a thing from the way I stitched the zipper. So what I'll do now is I'll place it on just the fabric and stitch. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the side, just on the Ankara fabric. So after stitching, this is what I have. I stitched this only on the Ankara fabric. You can see what it looks like. So this is what you're going to do. Now watch where the magic is. Okay, so after doing this, I'm going to take my chalk and mark where the zipper lands at the end of that spot. I will mark it. So I will also mark it in front because I'm going to remove part of the teeth. Any teeth that is above that line, I'm going to remove it. So watch carefully to see how I'll remove it. So I cut out part of it because I don't need all of that length. So what I'm doing now is pulling off the teeth, these stone teeth on the zipper. Okay, so you can see how I used my scissors to pull it out, and there will be small pieces of some of them behind which you will just pull out. So watch closely to see how I am pulling this off. I'll just use my zipper and my scissors and hold it somehow and then pull it off, not like cotton. Okay, so after pulling it off, I'll look at the back. Any pieces of the plastic that is used to make the teeth behind, I will remove it easily. So after that, you can easily now sandwich this between the lining and the fabric, just as I'm doing now. So this is how you're going to place the zipper really nicely like this and stitch it down. Okay, you can see how I clipped that part. I clipped off the stony teeth from. So you make it go inside and you lay the lining on it so that the zipper will be between the lining and the fabric. So after that, this is what I have, and you can see it's looking very neat already. So this will make your zipper to just look perfect. Always ensure to put your notches so that you follow exactly the seam allowance, the zipper allowance, so that you don't go smaller or more than it, because it will affect your pattern, and losing up this kind of thing can be tasking. So I'll do the same thing for the back. You can see how I joined the back and ironed all of the seam lines open. So I had to go ahead and stitch the neckline, and of course notch and top stitch both the hemline and the neckline. So this is what I have at this stage, and I will bring the front pattern and then place on the shoulder like this. I'll stitch it fabric to fabric and lining to lining, and this is what I have on that shoulder seam. Now the next is to go ahead and close up the side. Now you're going to close it lining to lining and fabric to fabric as well, just as I am illustrating here, like pointing. So after closing it up, this is what I have, and you can see the inside is looking neat as well as the outside. So how easy. So this is me zipping up to be sure that my zipper is really nice and well placed. So after that, this is what I have. The next is to close up this armhole area so that the sleeve can be easily attached. So this is the sleeve, and when you check the pattern drafting tutorial, you'll understand why the lining is like this, smaller than the sleeve at this inner seam part of the sleeve. Okay, so go ahead and place the sleeve like this. You can see what I have here, right sides facing each other. Like the part of the lining facing me now is the wrong side. So the right side is facing the Ankara fabric. So this is how you're going to place your lining, right? Then you're going to pull it out like this and stitch 1/2 inch seam allowance, and also pull this way and stitch half as well. Check the link in the description box to see the pattern drafting tutorial of this lovely top. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this one down. I will follow the notch and stitch. So I have stitched it down to this level because I don't want to stitch it all up. I want it to have a slit under the sleeve. Yes, I want it to have a slit there. So that is why I didn't stitch it up all through. So I'll turn it inside out at this stage, and this is what I have. So go ahead and iron it up and let everything look nice and fine. Okay, so this is what I have. I'll go ahead and iron it, and then we will continue. So you can see what I have. I'll close up here and close up the upper part so that I can join it to the top. So after closing it up and hemming the hem of the sleeve, okay, like the end of the sleeve, I had to join the armhole area to the armhole, and yeah, this is the complete top, and you can see how gorgeous it is. Go ahead and stitch yours like this and you get exactly the same, you know, result. If you want yours to be a basic sleeve, just as in the pinned picture, I will put a link of a basic sleeve tutorial in the description box so that you will know how to cut it in case you need that. But yeah, I decided to make mine a bell sleeve with slits on the inseam. So after this is the basic skirt pattern, and I've already gone ahead to stitch my darts. So I joined the lining. I cut lining exactly the shape and everything of the main fabric, and I joined it together and stitched my dart. So here is the lining as well, a second lining that I cut that I want to be the inside lining of this, but I made it short. Okay, this one will be the shorter. So I used the other one more like an interfacing to give the Ankara a little bit of extra weight. The lining is actually light. Okay, so here is how I cut here open, because I don't want the lining to show through the slit of the skirt for any reason. So this is the facing I cut before I stitched the dart. That is why you're seeing excess. You know, you can see that there are excess on the sides because I have already stitched down the dart. So I'm going to stitch here and also fold here and stitch. So I'll do the same thing for the front. I cut this facing from the skirt pattern, but I cut it before I stitched that. That is why you're seeing all of this excess. So this is how I'm going to place a stitch. I'll fold up here and stitch as well. So after doing that, I will continue with the rest of the pattern. So after doing this is what I have. I've also closed up the zipper, allowance area. So I'm going to trim off any excess that is coming out from this facing of the skirt. So after cutting it off, just as you can see, we will now go ahead and use it to turn the skirt. So this is what it looks like at the stage. I'll go ahead and make the notches more visible since the facing is already covering it. So this is the front skirt. I'll go ahead and use it like this. I'll use this short lining and turn this waistline. You can see how curvy the waistline is. This is just a basic skirt pattern, and I did a sort of kenny shape by dropping it by 1 inch on the center and curving it to the sides. Please also check the link in the description box for how to make your basic skirt pattern. It's quite easy and I have a tutorial on it. Feel free to take any length you desire. I want mine to be long skirt, and that is why I made it a long skirt. Feel free to make yours a short skirt. Okay, so after that I had to go ahead and notch. So when you notch, you flip over like this and top stitch like this. So after top stitching, I had to serge. I've serged all through the fabric and the lining as well. I've serged all of these sides. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and open up this. I've also closed up the zipper allowance, leaving just the space for the zipper. So you can see I've done all of this, and I'll go ahead and iron where is necessary. So like this part, I'll iron it open and use hemming gum on that slit to hold it down. So So this is what I have after ironing. Now the next thing to do is to get the front. This is the back. I'll place the front on it, right sides facing each other. I'll match it on this joining line to the back and stitch fabric to fabric and lining to lining. And yeah, this is what I have at the end of the day. You can see how gorgeous it's looking. I'll go ahead and weave this and hem the hem of the dress. Now the next is to put our zipper. So that is the final thing to do here, and of course hem the skirt. So I'll stitch the zipper and flip it over with the lining so that the zipper will be in between the lining and the fabric. I'll also close up the hem of the skirt. So at this stage you can see I've stitched the zipper to the fabric. So I've cut off this part, this excess already, because I don't need it. So I've cut it off. Now you can see what I have. This is what the zipper looks like. I will go ahead and arrange the beginning of that zipper like this and then flip over my lining on it. So that is what I'm going to do. So flip over, do the same thing for the second side. So you can see what I have. I've stitched all of this down and everything came out nice. So this is the result of the whole thing. I'm just bringing out the zipper the way it's supposed to be. Go ahead and iron your skirts and it will come out really nice and the way you want it. This is beautiful. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and turn on your notification bell after subscribing to ensure that you get post notification each time I upload my videos, because there is always something new to learn from each video. So after stitching up all of this was the outcome. I hope you like it. You can make your own skirt short. You can take a basic sleeve just like the pin post. Just do what you please and be creative with the style. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next one. Love you all. Bye.